The reason I want to talk about consistency today is because our industry, people are really starting to feel the effects. At first, it was kind of like, well, it's not that bad. And as the year has gone on, they've seen fewer and fewer deals. So we're actually going to see a you're going to start seeing a drop in agent count because of that. And it's just one of the things where people are not doing the work. And we're going to talk about how you can make certain that you're doing the activities that you need to do to make certain that you're getting the business, because it's still a numbers game. And a lot of the folks that are dropping out were the folks that were just waiting for, someone to come up to them and say, will you write an offer for me? Or will you list my house for me? And now we're not seeing those. So you actually have to do the work, get out there and find the people that, maybe don't get out as much, that aren't as social, or just have not been in those circles with real estate agents in them. So, but what consistency does for us, it allows for measurement. And until we have tried something for a period of time and do it in a consistent manner, we can't really decide if it works or not. It's kind of like, I tried open houses and it just didn't work for me. Oh, tell me about that. Well, I did one on a Sunday and nobody showed up. Well, that doesn't tell you if it worked or not. You did one, okay? Because you don't know if it works or not. But if you do open houses for a time period, then you can start ascertaining, okay, who showed up? When did I get contact information? What scripts did I use? What type of paper did I use, or form did I fill out, or did I use a QR code to get people to sign up? Now you're able to actually measure the results because you've been consistent with what you've done as far as what you said, what they responded to, and you've got some consistency there. Another thing consistency does, it's going to make you relevant. Prospects and customers, they need a predictable flow of information from you. And all too often, we see businesses, small and large, adopt a campaign or initiate it only to end it before it gains any traction. And this is something where we can have some great ideas and we do it for 2 weeks and then we stop, and then we confuse our clients as far as what the message is that we're really pushing out. So we need to be consistent as far as letting them know we're in real estate. And it's just not something where we're screaming at them about it, but just those subtle things like when you're doing an open house or you're doing previews, those things make a huge difference to them. Or maybe you're posting just the market report as far as, what's going on, as far as how many closings were last month, how many went on the market, is it up or down? Because you're going to become their source of real estate. Another one is consistency is going to make you accountable. We ask our vendors and leadership to be accountable for their deliverables and goals, and they should expect the same return from us. And it's just making a priority for making the time and being available to your clients. You have to establish consistency for that period to really show them that you're in business and it's not just something that you're trying out and then you're going to sit there and not do that anymore. And there's a simple fact. When you set a time to report on progress, it often will help you move your success forward because you've got actually road marks that you're going on to get closer. It's just like a trip you take. When you take a trip, everybody sits there and looks at it. Okay, I got 50 miles left. I got 25 miles left. You're doing a countdown to it, but you're achieving those milestones as you go. And it's the same type of things with us. It achieves that accountability for us. Another thing consistency does, it establishes a reputation. If you've always been doing something, you get a track record of that, and you also get a track record of success too. And then you can establish a track record if you're consistently shifting gears or trying new tactics. That just won't work. Many efforts fail before they even get started or get to the finish line because the tactic was flawed or the goals weren't clear. And the goal you need to have is start with appointments and look to get at least one appointment per week. If you get one appointment per week and you get half of those to sign with you and close, that's 26 deals in a year. But if it comes Thursday or Friday, you do not have an appointment, then you need to say, all right, how am I going to get an appointment here? Because it's crunch time. If you get 2 appointments, don't stop there. Try to get 3 or 4. Okay. There's going to be some weeks where it just all comes up for you and everything's great. And then there's going to be other weeks that you're going to take off vacation. You're going to have things come up where you're not going to be able to set that appointment. That's why you want to make certain that if you're getting appointments, just keep those appointments rolling. And again, that will achieve your business. Getting on the phones or talking to people or in networking events or open houses, but having those real estate conversations are going to help you get those appointments. The next one is consistency will maintain your message. They pay a lot more attention than what you think they do. And consistency is your leadership serves as a model to how they will behave. If you treat showing as unimportant, don't be surprised when they find not considering sellers or wishing to show homes. Okay. And that's going to be your sellers. I mean, they don't want to show their homes. Well, how are they going to get them sold? I mean, you have to sit there and show them that, hey, this is an important part of getting your home sold. So how do we create a culture of consistency? Well, we start with reinforcing our habits. And anybody that's got a habit can relate with that, because what it does, it keeps you from doing a whole bunch of exercising and then not doing any, and then a whole bunch of exercising and not doing any. Or I'm on a strict diet and then I'm not. I'm on a strict diet and then I'm not. It gives you that up and down feeling. But we don't want, well, we want to create a culture of quitting. And what that means is it's not quitting what we started. It's actually quitting this up and down business that we do. We want a thing where it's a habit where it's just automatic for us. So everybody kind of tell me first off, a habit that you've got that you do every day. Jan, I'll start with you.
Walk the dog first thing for 10 minutes.
Okay. Janie?
Get dressed and do that.
Did you?
Yeah, Janie, go ahead. A habit you do every day.
I eat yogurt for breakfast every morning.
Okay. Austin?
Usually work out about every day.
Okay. Angie?
Shoot, just setting an alarm and getting up every morning's a win for me.
Okay.
Now, you guys, I mean, you guys laugh, but I used to not have a schedule because I was taking care of my husband all the time. So we were up throughout the middle of the night. So getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning was a challenge for me.
So your habit is getting up early. Okay. Lou?
The habit of 1 hour walking daily.
Okay. Raphael?
Out every day. As in,
What is it?
I usually doing workout every day.
Okay. Kat, what about
That's only
you?
my habit. Yep.
Habit to commit. Hold on, there's so much. But I think consistently cleaning. Cleaning since
Okay.
I don't have that much time, but yeah.
All right. Susie?
I do devotions and prayer in the morning every day.
Okay. Jim?
Yeah, fixing my bed in the morning.
Okay. Well, mine is getting up at 4:30 and being at the gym by 5. And then I work out, shower, and then I'm here at the office. And because of that habit, I know I'm always going to have that time to prep my day. But the reason I ask you what those habits are is I want you to sit there and be what list you want to make for a habit. And I always want you to start with one, okay? And what's that going to be, that one habit that you do to build your business? Because we can talk about different things, and we will, as far as different habits you can make for health, relationships, and different things. But what's one habit you're going to make for your business? And you guys can pick out one, and I can sit with you, your team leader can sit with you and pick out what that one habit is. And if that's one thing is going to be right after our calls in the morning, our power up, we're going to go right into prospecting, and I'm going to do X amount of dials. Or maybe it's right before we do our power ups, I'm going to go through our Brivity top 10. And I'm going to check my news. I'm going to check my messages. I'm going to check my dashboard. I'm going to check my counts to see where I am as far as for my leaderboard. But whatever that one habit is, I want to make certain that that habit's going to drive your business. And here's an example. One guy was having a hard problem fixing it or flossing his teeth. So he said, well, I'm just gonna floss one tooth. Which sounds ridiculous, right? Well, what happens is he ended up flossing more because he made that commitment. He's only gonna floss one tooth, but he made it small so it didn't seem like a big deal to him. So he's actually kind of lying to himself. But that's the difference that it can make, is just one thing can lead to so many more things. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to add reinforcement to it. And what's that reinforcement going to look like? And that reinforcement could be someone else is going to be prospecting with you, or you're going to make certain that they're prospecting the same time you are. So now you've got somebody else holding you accountable for that reinforcement. Then you're going to add more reinforcement. Now, look what just happened to our habit. See how it got bigger? And because of that, it got bigger because we started adding reinforcement to it, because now it's a bigger part of our life and it's more solid. So it can support more for us. But the other reinforcements could be that I'm going to be logging my stuff and posting it where people can see it. Well, you guys already have Brivity, so you can see the number of calls you make. You can see the number of appointments you make. And those appointments are going to be driven off of your contacts. So that's the great thing about the reinforcement with our leaderboards. We can pull those up and see it. And then if you also have someone that's making those calls with you, or if it's coming into the office to be with me when you're calling, or, you know, with your team lead, with your team, whoever that is, that helps that reinforcement too. Because you're not going to come in and read through the luxury home magazine instead of making calls when you got other people around and they're making calls. It gives you that peer pressure. Now, the other thing you want to do is add social reinforcement. And this is something people are very lax to do. And what it is they communicate what their goal is. And the thing about social reinforcement, not only does it help you, it also will actually add to what your one habit is. Let's say your habit is making contacts with people to get appointments, and you're going to make those calls or go on those networking events. And then you're also telling people, it says, my goal is to sell X amount of houses this year. What do you think they're going to do when they see you in a week or two? How are you coming on your goal? And how does that make you feel? If you're on target, how do you feel about that? Feel great, right? Man, I'm rocking it. If you don't, it makes you feel bad and says, man, I got to get back to work on this because they're going to ask me about that. Now, if you tell your spouse or significant other at home, hey, I'm going to make X amount of calls and get this many appointments and do this, and then you don't, what's that do? That also puts that social reinforcement in, because it's that peer pressure. You told people out there that, hey, I'm going to be doing this thing. I want you to hold me accountable for it because it's important for my goal. So now it's something that they feel like they win too when you win. It's just like our sports teams. When the Tennessee Titans win, the whole city is just in a much better mood. You ever notice that? And when they don't, it's like they're not in a good mood at all. And again, it's just like your sports team. If it's a college team or whatever, when they win, everybody gets behind that and they have a great day too. So this is the same kind of thing. When you win, they get that chance of winning too, because they get to say, I've got this person, a friend of mine that's in real estate, and he's just killing it, or she's just killing it. They love to tell stories like that. Let me connect you with them. The other thing we're going to do is build walls around it. What stops us from doing our habits? Give me just a couple of examples, anybody.
Crisis.
Crisis, okay. One other one.
If you get behind one day and then it kind of snowballs.
Yep, you can feel
I
like
don't know what to call that.
and get this frustrated with it. So let's take a look at what kind of walls can we build around that. One of the things that I learned from Matt Fedek, and he is a agent in Pennsylvania. He is also partnered with Ben for his because they have the distribution rights for Keller Williams franchises in Great Britain. He's one of the partners on that, along with Christine Griffin. He was talking to Ben, and he is also the mayor of the town. He runs a team. He is also a part-time EMT. So this guy gets around. And he said that he went out and saw a small child that had jumped out of a third-story window, landed on concrete because they were committing suicide. And of course, they had to, quote, scrape him off the sidewalk. And Matt told Ben, says, what I learned from that was that there's no emergencies in real estate after that. And there's not. So if you're prospecting, turn off your notifications and stuff, because if it's 30 minutes later or 45 minutes later, most times it can wait. If not, they're going to be able to get a hold of you. But again, turn off that part of it. Another part, if you're behind one day, okay, let's say you've got a bunch of overdue tasks in Brivity and you haven't caught them up, and you feel like, man, I need to get these things caught up. I can't get to my prospecting because I need to get them caught up. If you need to go and just delete those things to start new, delete them and start new. And the reason for that is because that's holding you down like an anchor, and you're not able to move forward to get to your goal. So forgive yourself and say, you know what? I didn't do those things, but starting today, I am going to do those things. Now, just don't keep doing that every day. Don't make that your habit, okay? But that way you can get rid of those things coming up, and those walls that you put up then will protect you so you can keep focused on what that habit is. And then the other thing is protect it. And how you protect it is you let people know. It could be that you're going to return phone calls at a certain time. You know, from 11 to noon, I'll return phone calls, because from 9 to 11, you're doing your prospecting, or 9 till noon, you're doing your prospecting, whatever that time frame is. Also, if you've got family time, let them know I'm going to return your call after 7 o'clock the next business day. It's very important to me. And again, it can be the same kind of thing. And if they send you a text, you can read that and decide, you know, do I need to respond to this because it's an offer or something of that nature that you need to respond to right away. So the things that we're talking about with habits is, one, you're going to get consistency, you're going to have stability, and that's going to actually bring happiness to you. You're going to have reinforcement. Your results are going to be more secure. And what that's going to do is going to help you retain yourself and be in real estate. Because without those consistent results, us being a full commission position, it's tough to do. But we can use this in health, financing, financing. What are those things we do? Relationships, business, retention, productivity, any of those kind of things, we can actually use it for ourselves. And just take a look at it. Right now, we're looking at the productivity side, but with health, it could be working out like Austin does. Okay. It could be relationships and health at the same time, like Luke does. She walks with her husband. Well, that does both things, because they're able to have that moment away from the children where she can just sit there and focus on each other and have that exchange. But those are the types of things it can do for you. And these are just same kind of thing as far as examples where you would have it in. So what are some habits, or name one habit that you want to start doing? And what we're going to do is we're going to be that social reinforcement for you that you would do. And I'll start with Austin.
At least, I don't know, trying to call every single day.
Okay, what's that Yoda guy say about try?
Try you will.
Try, just do, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Janie?
I'm gonna try to do 2 consistent hours, like, without any kind of interruption.
Okay, I think that's a great one. Okay. Jana?
I would say what's been helpful for me is starting to write like notes. And so I've been working on writing 5 notes a day. It's harder than I thought. And so I will just stay with that one. Writing 5 notes a day. Yeah.
Okay. Bluth?
For me, yeah, I wanted to be consistent on my low carb diet.
Okay.
That will really help me with my sugar, blood sugar issue. So low carb diet for me.
All right. Angie?
I need to get up earlier, actually. I should be in the office by 8 every morning instead of 8:30. It would help me, to get other things done.
Okay. Raphael?
And for me, I want to be consistent of making a what to do list for the day after today, just for me to organize things and to know what should I done first.
Yeah, Ben's got a great video on that, planning your day out. And he talks about doing that the night before. You can find that on YouTube. You may be able to find it on the hour.place.com too. So, Pat?
I hope to get consistent in getting more contacts so that I'll get more appointments to set.
Yep, you're doing a great job on the dial stuff.
Mhm.
Susie?
More consistent on prospecting, but also with prospecting with turning off my notifications. I think that's key, just because, being a key contact or caretaker and whatnot, you could still trying to figure out how to manage that with putting this as a priority as well.
Yep. Now, let's make that more specific. What do you mean by prospecting? Be more consistent on what type? Networking, phone calls, door
time?
knocking?
I'm sorry.
What type of prospecting we're talking about?
Okay. Calls. I'll start with
Okay.
calls.
All right.
My
perfect.
idea is I probably have too many things, but a campaign in certain specific areas. So calling, but to start from the bottom, it would be calls.
Yep. All right. Jim, what about you?
We consistent on enrolling online class for social media management and video editing.
Okay. Now, is that something that it grows your business, or how's that work for you?
Yeah, it will grow our business and it will help my team to advertise our listings, yeah, and open houses.
Okay. And there is someone in place that's actually doing something on social media.
Oh,
I'll send
that's
that to
nice.
you. Okay. They've
Thank
got well, I just shared it in our market center because they were talking about that.
Thanks.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much for being on today. Tomorrow is inventory creation day. It's the 1st. So again, everybody, you can start calling at 8 o'clock according to the TCPA. Luth is going to have the expireds in there. Today we had 50 in there for you to dial and 1 new FISBO. So again, I'm sure we're going to have a lot more. So I would urge everybody to start at 8 o'clock. Power up will be very, very, very short tomorrow because we also have Chris's call at 10. And Chris always brings a lot of value. So I want to make certain we're on Chris's call too. So plan on a very short power up so we can keep right into prospecting on the expires and canceled.
Wes, I have a question.
Sure.
What time do you go to bed to get up at 4:30 in the morning?
Generally around 9. And if I stay up later, I just sleep with whoever I'm around and at 9, and they just have to put up with me snoring until I actually make it into bed.
So it's 9 every night.
dangerous
That's
if you're out.
awesome.
It's about 9 o'clock typically. Sometimes it's later. Okay. All right.
I'll be
Anything?
on the road to Chicago tomorrow, so I'll try to jump on the call, but it all depends on the service I have.
Yeah, I know this is a holiday weekend too, guys. I mean, Monday we are closed. If you're making calls, great. I will not be in the office on Monday. We're heading out for a trip down to the Caverns and Swanee. So, but if you guys need me, text me and I'll get back with you. Service up there is not great up by Monteagle and stuff, just to give you a heads up though. So if I don't respond, that could be the reason, or I could be underground in a cavern. So. All right.
That's awesome.
Hey, Wes,
Mhm.
on the vendor list, there's not a phone number for Angie for the floor girl.
For right,
Can you send
Ruth will
that
get
to
that
me?
updated for you.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
All right. All right, guys, I will let you guys go. Have any questions, feel free to reach out, okay?
Thank you.
Raphael,
Happy Labor
you can
Day.
Call.
See you at noon or noonish.
See ya.
Yeah.
Bye.